Apple is reportedly working on a new version of the iPhone SE. So if you are dead set on buying an iPhone SE 3, you better stick around. Hello and welcome to Tech Factuala. Join our channel by subscribing and clicking the bell icon to keep yourselves updated on new videos. Recent revelations have provided us with some details about this gadget. To keep up to date, we decided to compile everything we know so far about the iPhone SE 3. Therefore, without any further ado, let's jump straight into the video as we uncover the latest buzz on the new iPhone SE 3. If it comes out, it will probably not be known as the iPhone SE 3, and it will presumably adopt the naming practice for the iPhone SE 2020, with the release year in its title. Unfortunately, we don't even know what year the next low-priced iPhone will be released. The iPhone SE 2020 was one of the most intriguing iPhones of the year, offering outstanding Apple technology and software in a small package and affordable price. Now, how is Apple going to beat that? Well, they simply included some of the flagship's features into the forthcoming mid-range iPhone SE. We hope to see the debut of the iPhone 13 series with new features and technology, and maybe some of them will be going up to the iPhone SE mid-range also. According to the previously stated device in 2020 and the original in 2016, the iPhone SE 3 is the third generation in the series, as the name suggests. We might still be waiting 4 years for the iPhone SE 3, but we didn't think that we were going to have to wait that long for the 2020 version. How is the iPhone SE 3 going to turn up? Design and display. The iPhone SE 2020 has a fairly outdated look, and it is clearly older than the rest of the current iPhone lineup. As a result, we'd want to see things updated for the iPhone SE 3. That is, get rid of the home button and the large bezels above and below the screen for a more modernized appearance. This would also allow Apple to raise the screen size without increasing the total size of the phone, or make the screen the same size while shrinking the phone even further. Although there have been continuous speculations that Apple will redesign the iPhone SE 3, a new report by Co appears to have put a damper on them. According to the information which Mac Rumors obtained, Co claims that the third-generation iPhone SE would be comparable to present SE versions, implying that the retro design will be here to stay. That means we'll get the iPhone SE's characteristic top and bottom bezels, as well as a physical home button, potentially with Touch ID, for a more tactical user experience. In addition, the next iPhone SE, like the 2016 model, is rumored to include a single camera on the back of the phone. The iPhone SE 2020 features an IPS LCD screen with a resolution of 750 by 1334, neither of which is very cutting edge. But if you think that the similarly cost, OnePlus Nord and Google Pixel 4a both manage a higher resolution and OLED technology, which in general offers superior contrast and other enhancements against LCD. It is hard to see how Apple could explain excluding this from the upcoming iPhone SE model. OLEDs are usually more vivid than LCDs, with more contrast and deeper blacks. I'd love to see Apple opt with an OLED display for the SE 3, especially because comparably priced phones like the OnePlus Nord and Xiaomi's Redmi Note 10 Pro have sharp OLED displays. However, according to a new rumor by Ku, the iPhone SE 3 will not offer many big improvements, but rather incremental enhancements to items like 5G support and the processor. iPhone SE 3 has a 5G support. Now that other phone manufacturers are introducing 5G phones for less than $500, if not less than $400, it's time for Apple to do the same for its cheap smartphone. While 5G networks are still being developed, people deserve to stay connected in the future. The biggest selling point of the upcoming iPhone SE is that it is reported to be the cheapest 5G iPhone ever. The iPhone 12 mini is already the lowest cost 5G iPhone, priced at $699. Therefore, the iPhone SE could be less expensive. Only the iPhone 12 models support 5G at the moment. That is expected to change with the release of the next iPhone SE, as we hope Apple allows the technology to roll down to the iPhone SE 3, given it is already available on several of the SE 2020's main competitors. It is uncertain whether the iPhone SE will support millimeter wave 5G as well as sub-6 GHz frequencies. The iPhone 8's body was never intended to accommodate the antenna modules required for good millimeter wave reception. However, it's unclear to what extent this would be an issue or if Apple could simply change it. 5G coverage will be considerably more advanced by the time the iPhone SE 3 is unveiled, and we'll be stunned if Apple doesn't make sure the phone can take advantage of it. Camera. The iPhone SE 3 is likely to include the same single 12 megapixels wide-angle rear camera as the current model, as well as a single front-facing camera. The present version is equipped with a 7-megapixel front-facing camera, which we would want 12 megapixels improved, but we haven't received a word. However, fancy new sensors are unlikely to result in significant increases in camera quality. Instead, Apple is anticipated to promote the new iPhone SE's enhanced camera quality. This will be due mainly to improved visual processing of the A15 over the A13 in the current second-generation iPhone SE. Night mode. Night mode is one subject that might be addressed. The current iPhone SE 2020 appears to be capable of night mode on strictly physical grounds. It has the A13 processor, so the processing power is there, but it has lacked that so far. The addition of night mode to SE in 2021 would be a good step in the functionality of a newer model, particularly given that photography is essential for smartphone buyers. However, there's also the question that night sight is also included in Google's cheaper Pixel devices, which is quite comparable. Better battery life and more RAM. The battery in the iPhone SE 2020 has a major drawback. It has a small 1,821 mAh capacity, which may seem acceptable given the phone's small size, but we noticed it didn't last long, lasting only around a day. That's not bad, but it's also not remarkable, so we'd like to see far more from the iPhone SE 3's battery, whether that's accomplished by increasing the capacity or keeping systems more convenient. Another feature that would be appreciated on the iPhone SE 3 is 4 GB of RAM, as opposed to the 3 GB present in the current SE model. While the cheaper iPhone shared many of the exact specifications as the iPhone 11, the latter surpassed it in terms of speed. This might be due in part to the iPhone 11's 4 GB of RAM, which provides the extra headroom that allows the speeds to remain high. A high refresh rate. A fast refresh rate is another characteristic that several competitors currently provide. The iPhone SE 2020 features a 60 Hz refresh rate, which was formerly the standard for all smartphones other than gaming phones, although a handful of mainstream devices now have refresh rates of 90 Hz or 120 Hz. Eventually, other iPhone models are expected to include this function. Still, we aren't hopeful that Apple will bring it to an iPhone SE 3, as there aren't any existing iPhones that offer high refresh rates, so Apple will likely maintain the technology as a premium feature for some time. However, it would be fantastic if the company made this a standard feature. It may still differentiate itself by offering its flagships as a refresh rate of 120 Hz or more, and the iPhone SE 3 a refresh rate of 90 Hz. iPhone SE 3 release date and price. We expected the iPhone SE 3 to appear at Apple's spring-loaded event in April. As a matter of fact, it would be a year after the iPhone SE 2020 was released, but it did not. We're not shocked though, because we've already heard a handful of leaks and speculations indicating that there won't be an iPhone SE 3 this year, maybe to give the iPhone 13 mini more time in the limelight. If that's the case, expect one in 2022, at the very least, since it's also predicted that an iPhone 14 mini will not be released, leaving Apple to rely on the SE line for lovers of smaller phones. There's also the iPhone SE Plus to think about. While we haven't heard much about it recently, Ming-Chi Kuo, an analyst with an excellent track record when it comes to Apple, stated back in April 2020 that the iPhone SE Plus wouldn't arrive until the second half of 2021. So this may be released instead of the iPhone SE 3. Or maybe we'll get both an iPhone SE 3 and an iPhone SE 3 Plus. At this time, it's tough to tell. As for the price, we don't know how much the iPhone SE will cost, but it should be less pricey than any other iPhone. The iPhone 12 mini costs $699. and the iPhone SE costs $399, both with 64 gigabytes of storage. With the addition of 5G and the related licensing fees, the iPhone SE may see a price increase of $449 or $499, but we don't think it would cost more than that. That's all for now. I hope we've quenched your thirst for this new smartphone. As we bid goodbye, please leave us a like and drop a comment down below. Let's keep in touch till the next video.